Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode here of Let's Talk Airguns. It's just me tonight, guys, so Angie's on the road, and when she gets home, I'm sure she'll be back on for the show. But for tonight, you got just me, and I know you're already looking to bail, because I get it, I understand completely. But hopefully you're going to hang out anyway, and we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk about kind of, I believe, an interesting topic. Primary thing we're going to talk about tonight is airgun accuracy, and what do people consider accurate today? I think it's a good question because I started shooting airguns 15, 16 years ago, 17 years ago. Hey, Raphael. I started shooting airguns 15, 16, 17 years ago. And accuracy for me at that point, with what I had available, I had a certain expectation. Things have changed a lot. I don't think things have changed all that much in the brake barrel sphere, but certainly things have changed in the PCP sphere. And I want to talk a little bit about that tonight. We've got some air guns that I've been shooting recently, and I've been doing more and more shooting out to 100 yards. I hope people have been enjoying that. I certainly have, mostly steel targets. I'm learning that, air guns that I thought didn't maybe have the legs actually got more gas in the tank than I thought. And so anyway, that's one of the things we're going to talk about tonight. I do have some viewer comments we're going to get to. And obviously I've got my eyes here on the chat right in front of me. I'm going to try and pay attention to that as we are going through things. Before we get started, though, I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors. You can check them out. Let me switch over screens here. You can check them out at, there it is, airgunweb.com. If you guys want to see who helps us do what we do, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page. And these are all the folks that in one way or another help us do what we do. Not all of them are monetary contributions. Some of them are product. Others are just friends of the family, so to speak. But yeah, you guys can definitely go check them out. If you want to watch our stuff, if you guys want to, Rich is asking me a question that I don't know the answer to. I'll get to that in a minute. If you guys want to watch our stuff outside of social media, you can always check it here at AirgunWeb. We post it here. We post it Vimeo. We post it Gateway to Airguns. We post it on Airgun Army. If you guys want to see our stuff, believe me, while we are here on YouTube and we do publish a bunch of stuff on YouTube, obviously that's where the majority of the eyeballs are, and that's how we're able to get the sponsorships we have. If YouTube ever says the big see you later, all of our stuff is not dependent on YouTube. It's hosted with Vimeo, and it's all spread around in different locations. So again, if you guys ever want to watch our stuff outside of YouTube, that's perfectly acceptable. Doesn't matter to us, but you can check us at AirgunWeb, Gateway to Airguns, Airgun Army, all of those places. Actually, I think Rumble, but they pull from YouTube. You guys get the idea. You can check us out wherever you'd like to. Let's see. I do want to talk a little bit about Airgun Army. If you guys don't know what Airgun Army is, it is our own personal sort of social media. Looks like Angie's got a post up here. It's a website that I started a couple years back when things kind of got squirrely again with YouTube. And I wanted to see how this software works. And I really like it. The more I use it, the more I like it. We do have a paid section called the Officers Club. It's $5 a month, and it helps us raise money for projects. Essentially, we have one project we're going on right now, which is this this compressor I got from GX Pumps. It's their CS4. In an upcoming video, you're going to see actually had a failure on the pump. It was not the pump itself. It was the converter, the box that converts the 110 to 12 volt to run the thing. That died on me. Fortunately, I had a spare. We were up and running. Compressor's fine. And just so you guys know, I did get on the horn pretty quick with them, and within 24 hours, I had corresponded with them, and they were sending me a replacement converter. So support was pretty Johnny on the spot with that. I thought that was pretty cool. But we're going to have, I do need to do a video on that pump, which is going to be coming up. That video will be released in our paid section, either on Patreon or on our here at Airgun Army in the Officers Club. So definitely keep your eyes open for that. What do you get with this? You get some exclusive behind the scenes stuff. I've been posting more behind the scenes. Thank you to my sister Cheryl, who's been doing that. So here's the JTS behind the scenes, the Avenge X behind the scenes. Here's some more stuff from Angie. This is all stuff that is exclusive to these sections, period. It doesn't go out anywhere else. So if you guys want to check that out, how you do it, it's $5 a month. We appreciate your support. All right, let's move on to some other cool stuff. Gateway Airguns, the forum. We've been doing a bunch of updates, and I talked a little bit about this last week. I believe, and I hope, fingers crossed, and all that stuff, prayers lifted up, that I believe we have the bulk of the updates done, and we've chased down the bugs, and hopefully we've got things running better. We had a major upgrade that needed to be done on the site. Some stuff was 10, 12 years old. It's now current as we can make it. And we're just going to let things simmer for a while until we'll see what happens next with the forum. Question for you guys who use the forum. Yes, I think Raphael's got a good point we're going to talk about today in the expectations of accuracy side of things. With regards to the forum, I'm considering reorganizing the content to something that may be more I don't know, intuitive. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm not going to like do a bunch of changes and then all of a sudden flip a switch and everybody goes, but I will be communicating with our admins and our moderators, and I will be soliciting input from members of, do you find the organization of materials useful, or would you like to see potentially some things reorganized? I personally have a hard time. I own the thing, and I have a hard time finding stuff and knowing where things are. I think that a greater segmentation with more granularity and maybe sorting things by brand, or maybe, I don't know. Well, I'm open to concepts and ideas, so I'm interested to hear what people have to say about that. We'll be doing some polls and whatnot to see what people think. Okay. Now we've got some of that admin stuff out of the way. Oh, one last thing. We are due for another giveaway. And I've reached out to a particular company who has something I think would be really cool. I've asked them, they do optics, guns, everything. So I've asked them to do a whole package for the holidays. We'll see what their thoughts are. If they are not able to do it now, then I'll reach out and we'll try and come up with something else that we can pull together for a giveaway before the end of the year. But I want to do something significant for the holidays. So you guys, yeah, just keep your eye out and open for that. Okay, let me take a look at some of the comments here we got going. Beamflip saying he likes the long range stuff. Yeah, me too. I love it. Rich is asking me, have you ever done a pellet to bore test? Since I don't know what you're talking about, I'm going to say no. If you're talking about, have I shoved a pellet down the bore just to kind of measure it? Yes, but I don't know what I'm doing, so it's wasted on me. If you want to email me or put a better description in the chat, then I would be pleased to talk about it. Let's see. LLC 24/7 is asking me, how's your health doing? Pretty well. I've had, if I'll be honest with folks, I've been dealing with a little, I don't know what it is, but the blood work and other tests have all come back very positive. So I actually meet with my doctor next week, I believe, my oncologist, to go over blood work, CT scans, everything that they did after the last round of chemo. So I'll know more then. I've had a pinched nerve for a couple years, and I think that got a little aggravated. So like this side of my body is kind of barking like all the time. I still, on this part of my hands, pins and needles, and it's kind of numb, but hurts. I don't know how that works. But I've had that for a couple years. It just seems to be exacerbated here lately. I don't know what I did. I stepped funny or walked funny, but it is, yeah, the health-wise, the serious stuff, it's all doing really well. So thank you guys for your prayers. Let's see. Okay, so let me Yeah, Benjamin, I think you put that comment up in the thing too. Yes, I don't read the instructions unless things don't work. Um, let's see. Let's um let's talk a little bit about what I mean by accuracy at various distances. So first of all, there's a big difference between uh, brake barrels or spring guns and PCPs, and I think on the spring guns you have a greater difference between price points. So like $100 Springer, I'm going to have a certain expectation versus like an AirArms TX200 at $700 or $800. I'm going to have a different expectation, right? I think that what we have on the PCP side of things, and I think Eddie, let me just get Eddie's question. Rick's saying, he's asking, Rick, are you playing test other AA guns? I'd love to. I just need a dealer that deals with AEA, or I need AEA to reach out to me, and I'd be pleased to do it. I've reached out to AEA again. I don't remember the last time, and it's cricket. So I've told you guys many times what happened. I'll just tell you again, for anyone that would like me to review a particular thing, let me just say how it works. This is not a hobby for me. This is my full-time job. And it's not my full-time job only. It's my sister, it's Angie's, and it's Maggie's. So we have my family and three other families that are supported by what we do here. And so when I do a video, I hand the footage, so I have my time involved. I hand the footage to my sister. She does editing drafts. I review them. She edits them some more. Then I write copy, and then it gets published. So from start to finish, we have a chunk of time, some of which, like my own time, I can comp now and then if it's something I feel like it needs to get out there. And I've done that many times for products I just think need to get out there. But anytime that work passes to another set of hands, I got costs, like not insignificant. So each video costs several $100s just to get out. So when I have these conversations with folks like AEA or whoever it is I was reached out to by an optics company, and they, I'll give you the scope and then you do all this work, and we'll give you a percentage of sales. I'm like, time out. You don't understand the dynamic. Every time I do work, it's hundreds of dollars. It costs the business to publish that. If I'm not receiving in-kind value, I can't go in the hole. I will not only put myself out of business, but I'll have three other families that also lose their jobs. So it is not something that I can just take a gun and do it unless I'm willing to absorb the additional cost. Now, there's certain products that I'm willing to do that on because I think they're worth doing it. When AEA approached me, not only did they want me to do all the work simply because they were an awesome product and I needed to do it, but then they wanted me to buy the gun. So not only do all the work, cover the costs of production and publication, but then turn around and pay them for their product, I will not do it. I won't do that for anyone. So I can't do it. Literally, I'd go out of business, and then the channel would go away, and 4 families would be out of employment. So that's not going to happen. Not going to do it. So I'm pleased to work with companies as long as they understand the dynamic and are willing to work with me, and I'll work with them. And that goes for AEA, that goes for Crossman, that goes for Hotson, that goes for whoever that wants to have their stuff covered. I'm pleased and interested in doing it with them, but so long they understand the dynamic. I cannot go in the hole promoting their stuff and then pay them to promote their stuff. Not going to do it. Now, I know that's a lot on that AEA question, but I wanted to make that clear again. Love to work with them, love to work with their products, but it's got to make sense or I can't do it. All right, back to the actual side of things. So on the spring gun, the whole spring gun thing, I think there's a big difference between like $100 Springer and a $500, $600, $700 Springer, and I have much bigger expectations. But when you switch over to PCP, there's some very affordable guns today that actually shoot pretty damn good. I just posted the video of the Bara. And let me see if I'll show you guys a picture here. So here's, okay, there's my group. There's my, right here. Oh, I got to get out of this. I'm done. Okay. So there's my group, which is about 1.5 inches center to center at 100 yards with a sub $300 air gun. And it wasn't like a super high-end scope either. So the scope was the, the Hawk, I think, Vantage wide angle 30 side focus, something like that. And it was maybe $400 scope, $400 scope. So we're not talking about $1,200 glass. But that was, and that gun can actually do that pretty regularly. That's 1.5 inches at 100 yards with a 22. And I think that is, I think that's good for anything. It'll get back to my expectations here in a minute. I think that's good for just about anything, but to do it, for me to do it, I'm not a great shooter. I'm average at best. To see that result, I was pretty tickled. We go down, and here I'm shooting. I'll go down here because we're going to talk about the Western Airguns 30 cal Rattler, which is growing on me like big time. This group here is a 100-yard group. Now, one went high. I put 4 shots pretty much in the center, and I don't know what that is. I didn't measure it. Maybe 1.5 inches, and then one kind of went high. Was that me? I don't know. But that was slugs shooting out to 100 yards with that Rattler. And that said, okay, so more trigger time for me. I'm going to need to get some more slugs because I'm going to run out. But that gun has tremendous potential. Yeah, so, but we have 2 guns here. One is a couple thousand, and the other is a few hundred. And they're laying down pretty similar groups. So the expectation, if we're going to look for just a moment here, gosh, there's no way I'm going to keep up with these chats coming on tonight. If we're going to take a look at expectations, let's start with, I'm going to leave break barrels out of the equation for now because I think there's just too many variables there. If we look at PCPs, and I don't think the price point is it doesn't affect my expectations nearly as much as a price point does on the break barrel, or spring gun. So I'm going to look at PCPs tonight. And first thing I'm going to say is I maybe have lower expectations than some folks. And I don't know, maybe that's because I just am basing them on my own personal skill set. I don't consider myself to be like a crack shot or some competitive quality shooter. I'm an average guy who just likes to shoot. So that's me. Timmy's asking, can you shoot slugs out of a gun that shoots 780? You can, whether or not they're accurate, I don't know. You'll have to find that out. All right, so if I'm looking at caliber first, 177s, and there's a video coming out soon where I talk about my expectations, say, of the Avenge X 177, and I have, I think 177 personally, I sort of put that in the backyard sphere. I personally wouldn't try and hunt 50 yards with a 177, generally speaking, just because I personally haven't found them to be powerful enough or accurate enough for me, with me behind the trigger, for me to trust that for that type of use. 25, 30 yards, 35 yards, yeah, all day. But past that, not so much. Now, when you move out of 177, go to 22, I think everything changes because for whatever reason, whether it's the weight, I don't know. I don't know what is the big difference other than weight and power and everything else. But 22, you definitely have a higher expectation. Now, me personally, I'm a 2 MOA guy. So if something is giving me 2 MOA at whatever range, I'm pretty happy. So that's going to be 1/2 inch at 20 yards, and we're talking center to center, half inch at 25 yards, excuse me, 1 inch at 50, and 2 inches at 100. And really, that's like, I don't care what the gun costs. I want to at least see that. So I can usually get that out of most guns today. I mean, the Barra certainly will do it all the way out to 100 yards. And that's a sub $300 gun. You know, I kind of, that's my expectation. Now, what do you guys think of, what do you guys think really? And Ben's talking head size. Yeah. Okay. So let me put this in, let me qualify this. Okay. I'm not a competitive shooter. I don't ever plan to be a competitive shooter. I don't ever plan to go compete. There's just my own personal thought process with regards to that. I have zero interest, like zero, less than zero interest in ever being involved in competitive shooting. For me, air guns are all about fun. So I personally, me, I'm not going to spend hours sizing and weighing my pellets. Not going to do it. So when I'm talking about my expectations, they're sort of like the big caveat is I have a tin of pellets. I open them up. I shoot them. That's what I expect to get. Now, can I get much better results by weighing and sorting and all? I'm sure you can. I mean, people do it. That's how guys go out and compete. I mean, you don't take a raw tin of pellets and expect to go be competitive in today's world. No, you're going to weigh, you're going to size, you're going to sort, you're going to do all that stuff. You're going to inspect. That's not me. Never going to be me. Never. I never want to do that ever. And I'm as much as people are going to try and twist my arm to do it, I ain't going to do it. You go do it. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. But for me, that like transitions hard into work. And air guns for me need to be fun. Even though it's my work, if I ain't having fun doing it, I will find other work to do. So for whatever that's worth, let me just put that into like, let me set the stage, so to speak. So when I'm talking about expectations, and I'm talking about my expectations personally, are 2 MOA with PCPs. All right. Yeah. Raphael's saying, how much actually do you need on our hobby? I'm a 2 MOA guy. If a gun shoots better than 2 MOA, I am very happy. And I have a few that shoot either sub MOA or very close to sub MOA, like regularly. And those are fun guns to shoot. I enjoy shooting those. I'm still personally looking for that 7 out of 10 groups at 100 is sub MOA. I haven't found one that can do it, or I haven't found one that I can do it with. Not saying that there aren't out there, and not even saying that I don't own guns that could do it if I did all this other stuff to make it happen. But for me, it's got to be fun. If I'm having to spend hours doing a bunch of desk work, I already have to do that just for my other jobs that I have. I'm not going to do it for my leisure. Anyway, let's see. William, I think you've really hit a point that is like right on nail on the head. William's saying this: I believe some of the air rifle content creators give us unrealistic hopes. I am damn sure that is the case. One of the things that I really do, and I really try to do, is show you guys the entire process. That's why I shoot guns out of the box. That's why I shoot guns that I haven't tuned yet. First of all, if you're going to tune a gun, you gotta have some tools. You gotta at least have a chronograph, and not very. Gosh, I'd like to know the percentage. It'd be interesting. Of all the people that own an air gun, I wonder how many of them have a chronograph. I bet you it's a pretty small percentage. But if you're looking at guns, if people are only showing you guns after they've tuned, set up, tested, and they only show you the absolute best results you can get out of it, then you go buy the gun based on that review. You don't know the process, how they got there. And I don't want to do that. I would much rather much rather show you my entire process where I get the gun in, I haven't even shot, like some of the behind the scenes or first shot stuff we're doing for the Officers Club and our patrons is I will go and I haven't shot the gun at all, not even one pellet. And I'll film exactly what I'm getting right out of the box. And that is a real honest look at what that gun could potentially do. If you bought it, you know exactly what you'd get out of the box. And I like that. And then I walk through the entire process of look, these are the pellets we're using. I did the video I did with the Avenge X and the pellet test. I didn't shoot that before I did the video. You guys saw it same time I saw it. Personally, I like that. I absolutely love doing that because gives people a realistic expectation. Then as I develop with the product and I get better with it and I get better results, you guys can see the entire process. That's what I've come to realize with the Western Rattler. When I started that, man, that gun has so much potential. And the power is crazy. I went from, and you guys may have seen the video of me testing slugs with that gun, and I was shooting at 30 yards just because, like I said in the video, I might have said it in the next video you guys are going to see on that gun, which is the 100 yard stuff. I said, if it ain't shooting good at 30, it's not going to get better at 50. So, and then something funny happened on the next video, which you guys might find humorous in that. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to watch the video. But that gun, I started at 70 foot-pounds and just turning the knob, power up, went to 170 foot-pounds. And when we hit that high mark, the groups went from like terrible down to like, okay, I think we can work with that. And sure enough, when I got a chance to stretch it out and really see what it could do, hell yeah, it was awesome. So that gun is a good example of a gun that, I mean, there's so much you can do with it. I mean, between pellets, light pellets, heavy pellets, slugs, so many different things that require more than just a single video. And I'd rather show you guys the entire process. What did I do to get where I am with the gun? Now there's going to be, 8, 10 videos on that gun that will bring you through the start to finish. And to me, I think that's very valuable. If maybe not as entertaining, and I get that I'm not as entertaining as many of the other creators. I don't really care. I'm not doing this purely to be entertaining. I'm doing this to educate. My whole channel, I want is more about education and real world results than entertaining people. Maybe I can learn to do both, but I haven't figured that out yet. Kind of boring. Anyway. But I think this kind of goes back to the accuracy discussion. So for me, I really need to see any PCP, and again, regardless of cost these days, because I think the cost variation's been thrown out the window with all the cool guns we've had come through the door that are really, really good for low money. It's 2 MOA, and we have some people saying in agreement. I think an exceptional gun is sub MOA. Sub MOA is you're getting to the upper echelon of air guns, and really, I wonder how much of that comes down to the shooter. And like Ben's going to talk about, the ammo being very, very precise and correct. And I agree with him that if you want to see sub MOA regularly, well, you're going to have to be the guy that sorts and weighs and does all that stuff with your ammo, or you're going to waste your time trying to get it otherwise. So what do you guys think? I've got a few. I'm going to go back through here. Eddie's saying, Rick, a lot of people looking for power. I agree. Oh gosh, I can't wait to show you guys. I've got a video. I've got to go shoot it this week, and I'm going to probably jump it ahead of the queue. Well, I don't know. I've got 2 more videos coming out on the Avenge X and 177. And then I know people asked about the power adjuster, because when I did my pellet test, and then the slugs did so great, and the 7 pellets did kind of crappy, or 6 pellets did kind of crappy, they were saying they need to go slower. Well, there's this little knob on the side, and I was curious just how much of a change that made. I'm not going to tell you. Maybe somebody else already knows. I'm not going to tell you. I will tell you that the engineers were smart in what they did, and I can't wait to show you the next video because we're going to show the same eight projectiles, 6 pellets, 2 slugs, and we're going to shoot all of them again at high power, and then we're going to shoot them again at low power. We'll compare the difference, and I think that will be a very fun video. So that's going to be coming up. I hope to shoot that this week. And then I'm not sure when it'll air, probably in December. Sorry, because I have so much stuff sitting in front of it. But that's going to be a fun video. And Avenge X is another gun that just, there's so much with that gun that is, you can't cover that in one video. There's no way you're going to miss stuff. So we've got our work cut out with that one. And then I'm going to convert to the 22. After I do this video, I'm going to convert to the 22 and then start over. So that should be a lot of fun. Wooty-hoo, Hooty-hoo, whatever that is, Hooty-hoo, saying he got sub MOA with the Avenge X in 25 cal. That's great. I don't have the 25 cal barrel yet, but I look forward to it. I don't know what distance you were shooting, but I'm curious to know. Dave's saying, I'm with you, Rick. Just keep it fun. So that's very cool. Let's see. Yeah, without Angie here, I don't have anybody else to talk for me while I take a drink. Let's see. Going back to what Raphael said, I want to talk about that a little bit because I think it's a good question. You just made a very good point. How much accuracy do we need based on our hobby? Well, the beautiful thing about the hobby is, well, you can just go as crazy as you want. I think accuracy we need is going to be everybody's individual choice. For me, I've already made my sort of criteria that I want to live by. Other people have a much higher mark, and I've seen people talk about, whoa. I mean, I've had some people get really angry because, you know, I shot a gun and it was half-inch at 20, 25 yards, and they're just absolutely beside themselves at how I could shoot such a terrible thing, and I was happy with it. So, I mean, everybody has that different perspective, and they're entitled to that. I'm not saying they're wrong in their perspective, nor am I saying I'm right and solely right with my perspective. My perspective is certainly right for me. How's that? Let's see. Truth is always fun. Sometimes less is more. Yes. Let's see. I got a text. Guess who this is from? Hi, Ben. I'll have to take a look at that later. Let's see. Larry's saying Gammo has a cold hammer forged barrel. That's why it shoots so good. If they're using BSA stuff, then yeah, absolutely. They do a great job. Let's see. Timmy, you can get sub MOA at 5 feet with your Red Rider. I'd actually like to see that group, Tim. I think that would be, I'd like to see, I expect a post on Airgun Army tomorrow with that. So I want to make sure that you're not fibbing to us. Larry's saying you get with the Avenger, get quarter size groups at 32 to 45 yards. Yeah, I mean, the Avenger is, I think that's a great example of an air gun that changed the dynamic, at least changed my dynamic, changed the dynamic for me and my expectations. Because here we're talking about sub $500, way under $500, depending on what gun you got. It started at $300, right? So now it's $350. But we're talking way under $500. And we're talking about a gun that's tunable, well, adjustable, tunable, however you want to say it. It's consistently good. I mean, gun to gun to gun. I've had several of them. They all shoot about the same. Yeah, that gun changed my opinion on what I expect from affordable air guns. And it wasn't just that one. The Barra, the Beeman. Well, Beeman and Barra, some people have made the comment that they're the same gun. Look, Beeman makes the Barra. And if you look at, I think it's probably, I actually don't know which Asian company makes the gauntlet, but the trigger assembly is the same. All of that stuff is very, very, it may all come out of the same place. They will have variations, however. I do know that Barra has certain specifications that they have the things built to, and so there's going to be some subtle changes. But yeah, their magazine's the same, trigger group is the same, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Um, yeah, so Ben's, yeah, I'll take a look at that later, Ben. I have zero doubt that, I have zero doubt that sized, weighted, weight sorted, all that stuff is going to give you better results. It's just not my thing. And it's not going to be the average consumer's thing either. For the enthusiast, competitive shooter, somebody who really wants to get like the best accuracy they possibly can, it's going to be their thing. And more power to them. That's awesome. Go for it. It's not going to be my thing. My channel will continue to be about the average everyday Joe with an air gun. That's all I am. That's all. I mean, I know a lot about air guns at this point, but I just want to show things as most people are going to use them in the real world, and that's how I'm going to continue to do it. If I ever turn a different corner and go into competitive shooting, maybe that'll be a different story. But I have zero intention of ever doing that. I just that whole sphere is not one that has any pull on me whatsoever. And if that's what people like, awesome. I'm glad you like it. Go for it, enjoy it. It's just not my thing. It's not my thing. When it becomes not fun, I don't want to do it. And I don't like losing. And I don't like things when they fail and don't work right. When you're sitting down to try and make money in a contest, I don't like the stress. Don't want it. For me, that's not fun. Not at all. So I don't see me doing it. Let's see. Raphael's asking, do you think the Hawk Vantage 2 7-32 would withstand the recoil of Benjamin Trail NP? I don't know. Anything that has the, if you have an etched glass reticle from Hawk, it may do all right. If it's a wire reticle, I don't do it. Run the etched glass. So let's see. William's saying, don't give yourself enough credit. You're better than average. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll try and keep it real. The minute I start thinking I'm better than average, I get real bad real fast. So I'll just try and keep it real here. I know there's some shooters like Ted and these other guys, and I just so far out removed from those circles. I don't know who's who. I talk to folks and say, so-and-so and such and such. I'm like, no. So anyway, let's see. What are the things we got here? Let's see. Yeah, I think we're going to go on to, we'll go on to some viewer questions. Let's see if I get let's put the bar up here for a little bit. That's a pretty shot. Started taking pictures a little differently, just for giggles. I really like that one. Let's look at that one for a little bit. Okay. So I did a video recently. I'm going to try and walnut and steel stained pumper guns are super fun. Yes, they are. And I actually have the new Centennial gun from, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Let me switch. I've got one of these coming in. I'm doing an article for Airgun Depot, and I hope Crossman, do they have it as one of their pictures? Go away. Not that. I'm waiting for it to keep moving. All right, let me just find it. Crossman. Come on, guys. You just released the doggone thing. I'm going to have to go to my email. Bear with me for a minute, folks. There's a new multi-pump that Crossman just came out with, and I have it coming in. Let me pull it up in my email, and I will show it to you, because I am super excited about getting this gun in. I got the email earlier today. Here it is. The 100-year anniversary edition. There it is. All right. So it's expensive, but they asked me if I wanted to keep it. I'd have to pay for it. They don't just give them away. But I'm considering a big fat yes on this gun. When you're talking about pumpers, this has me excited. It is wood, comes with Williams peep sight. Gosh, that looks like a nice gun. I really hope it shoots well. I really, really hope it does. And I don't know what trigger they're using on it. Oh, it looks like a nice trigger. Yeah. Anyway, it's shipped today. I should have it soon, but I'm doing an article for Airgun Depot on this gun, so I'm very excited to get that in. Yes, being flipped, the 100-year anniversary one. Very, very, very cool. I'm looking for, it's just really pretty. I don't know. I know it's going to be a collector's item, so I don't know. Maybe I'll get it. It'll shoot so awesome I can't let it go, and then I'll figure out what I'll do from there. I have to see what happened. Let's see. Oh, I was going to go over to some viewer questions. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. This was left on the Gammo 177 Pro Magnum video. I'm going to go back here. We're going to look at that bar for a little bit. This was left just a couple hours ago. Do you ever try slugs through high-powered 177 brake barrels? I've actually had some success with NSA slugs out of my RWS. Maybe worth trying some in guns with enough power to push them. No, I haven't, but I agree with you. It's probably worth a shot. So I'm going to consider doing that. Probably all I have right now for high-powered guns are the Gammos. And I don't know that the magazine is going to appreciate slugs where they could flop out and kind of cause a problem. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that's something that could actually work. But there's an O-ring in the magazine that has to go around the waist of the pellet so that once the recoil advances the mag, the pellet can't fall out. So I don't know. I'm thinking I probably do 22 more than 177, but I don't know. Let me see what I can do on that. That'll be fun. Another comment on the Gammo 177 video. Timmy's asking a question that's unrelated to all of this, and it's personal to him, but I'm going to answer it anyway. I have to ask how to go with the Max. Is it still leaking? Yes, even after we went through it, it's got a small leak somewhere. I've given Angie some instructions on how to address that when she gets home, so she's going to give it a shot. So we'll probably have to get a rebuild kit from JTS, and then we'll go from there. We did find one pretty obvious leak and thought that fixed it, but after it sat for a couple days, it had dropped some pressure. So there's still a minuscule weeping leak somewhere that hasn't been solved yet. Let's see. Okay, the other question I had, same video, Gammo 177 Pro Magnum. By the way, on the Pro Magnum versus the regular Magnum, the Magnum has a thumb hole stock. I like the Pro Magnum stock way better for what it's worth. I just like it better. And when I get to the review, I'll get into that. Let's see. Real quick while I'm looking here, did I do a complete review of the JTS 30 cal? Not yet. I've done some demo shoots with it. It's on the bench, so it's going to be one of the videos we get to. And also, Angie, thank you, JTS. Angie has a whole set of JTS guns that she's going to be starting to work with for grip reviews. So you guys keep your eyes open for those. That's going to be pretty cool. Let's see. Next question. Rick, I have the Gammo Swarm Whisper 10X Gen 1 22. I've paired it with a TrueGlow 4x32 scope. Any advice, suggestions you may have would be greatly appreciated. That should be fine. I would just hopefully True Glow 4x32. I don't know if the scope has an adjustable reticle, or not adjustable reticle, but adjustable objective for parallax. But hopefully it does. And hopefully you're shooting well. If you're having some struggles getting accurate, then start close and work your way out. Don't try and start far away. Start at 10, 15 yards. Get really good with your technique and get really good with the gun there, and then start backing up 5 yards at a time. And that'll help you find your accuracy and then maintain it at distance as you work through the process. All right. I had some interesting comments back. If you guys go back and look, I did a video on the JTS standard and we converted it to the Buckrail Tactical. First of all, I haven't talked about Buckrail for a while, but oh my gosh, do they make some cool stuff. I should pull their website up. Why not, right? All right. So if you guys are interested in like customizing and having fun, come on, there you go. This site is awesome. 3D printed stuff. It's affordable. It's fun. And I took my JTS standard, my original pre-production model, and threw it into his conversion kit. And oh my gosh, was it a lot of fun to shoot. The other question I think we'll get to in just a moment. But one of those guys said this. This is kind of a hot take thing, but let me just throw it out there because it's funny. I thought it was funny. I take no offense by it, but I thought it'd be fun to throw it out there. So you take a fine-looking rifle that's all wood and metal and turn it into a loaded with plastic Umarex lookalike. That's a major buying point. All metal, all wood, all metal and wood, metal mags too. We have too many tactical style stuff anymore. I like the good old rifle style like Day State Huntsman, the original Wolverine. Look, I like wood and steel as well. Oh, there we go. Nice little glitch there on the screen. I like wood and steel as well, but I also have a new appreciation for tactical, and I definitely see the advantage and utility of both. So I think this kind of gets to the next question. Great work, Rick. Same video. Great work, Rick. Nice video showing off Buckrail parts and conversion kits. Big question is, does the conversion kit maintain the accuracy of the JTS rifle? Any before and after videos coming in the future of a before and after Buckrail rifle conversion kit? Well, I did that with the Air Venturi. I did not do it with the JTS. What I will probably do is I may, because if I did that, I would want to do it on a production model. I have a JTS standard production in 22 and 25. And so I think it would be worth doing like I've done. I've got a whole series coming and even more coming with the FIREARMS between the wood stock and the tactical, which does better. I think like the Air Venturi Avenger, for me, I shot it better with the tactical stock than with the original crappy plastic stock. I hated that stock, but I really liked the way it dropped into the tactical. So I think personally, I got better results from the tactical stock than I did the wood stock. The wood stock for me is very small, and ergonomically, I don't like it as much. Angie, when she was here last week, we talked about what makes an air gun my favorite air gun. Is it more about performance or is it more about experience? The experience. For me, it's all about the experience. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. I don't know how many other ways I can say it. If I'm not having fun, I don't want to do it. Period. And I find air guns that fit me, where I feel comfortable and I'm having a good time with it, even if it's not like drilling sub MOA, but I'm having fun and enjoying myself. That is what makes that gun. That's what endears that gun to me. I preferred shooting the gun in the tactical stock because I enjoyed it more. Something about the way it fit me and the way it felt in my hands and how it was more comfortable for me to shoot it. That made me like that stock better. So yeah, is it more accurate? I guess that'd be a really good test. Something I can certainly talk to JTS, and Terry over at Buck Rail. Sure, we can work something where we can have some fun. What would be really cool is if I could have, I don't know that we could do one of each. I think we'd have to do the Woodstock and then convert it, because then that would be as fair as possible, right? Because what if the tactical was happened to be a little bit better version of, and I think we'd have to do the same gun and convert it. It's a lot of work. Yeah, it's not a lot of work, but it's a little bit of work. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Yeah, you're welcome, Ben. Ben's saying thank you for all the work you do, or for all you do. I appreciate that. Yep, you're welcome. All right, next set of comments came from the Bar 1100Z 100-yard steel video. Man, that was fun. And gosh, you talk about accuracy and expectations. I would never have expected, or I would never have had the expectation of an 1.5 inch group at 100 yards with a sub $300 gun. So the more I shoot that 22 cal bar, the more I'm like loving it. It's such a fun gun. A buddy of mine just got one, and he's having a lot of fun with his too. All right, so Bean Flip, hey buddy, this is your comment. I was having a little buyer's remorse due to all the hype of other guns' accuracy. So I know that you appreciated that video. Look, man, don't worry about it. If you bought 1100Z and 22, and I'm pretty sure the Veil camo helps it shoot better. Just like stripes on a car makes it go faster, and RGB on a computer makes it run better too. Gives you more FPS. It doesn't. Anyway, yeah, it's a really good. It was great to see a gun that was affordable doing so damn well, which had me very excited. Okay, Heath is saying this. This is the same video. Says, I remember Steve from AEAC interview a world champion field target competitor. Guy told Steve to spend the money on the best scope you can, then purchase the rifle. Oddly, most people don't understand this. A cheap PCP can hang with anything if you put a $1,500 scope on it. Not true, but I get the concept. Of course, you have to put in the time and learn what the rifle likes. So, yeah, I mean, a crappy gun isn't going to shoot better with a better scope. However, a crappy scope is going to make any gun shoot bad. So I agree that spending a little bit more on glass is always to your advantage, especially if you're going to try and run at the upper end of the magnification at long range. So if you ever seen the 6-24s that you buy for sub $100 on Amazon with a 1-inch tube and a 50 mil objective, total waste of money. You're not going to be able to use 24 power anyway because you can't see. It's like looking through the bottom of a milk jug. Not going to happen. So it's a waste of time. A 40 mil objective with a 1-inch tube makes sense. 3-12, maybe 4-16. But I have not found cheap scopes to be very useful when you get the really high magnifications. Now, if you're shooting 20, 50 yards, I think you're just fine. But if you're going to start stretching it out, or you need to get like really precise, and you're having to do adjustments and, Kentucky windage and all that, boy, you're going to want to have an accurate scope. Or if you plan to do any click adjustments, so I'm 13 clicks here and 35 clicks there, and to make the difference up, and you expect it to be repeatable, you're going to spend some money on a scope. So I agree in principle. I don't agree that you can put a $1,500 scope on any PCP and it shoot well. But I mean, a better scope's going to help. Certainly makes my life easier when I can see clearly at full magnification at range. That does make my life easier. So I agree in principle. Let's see. Beanflip bought it in black. Oh, that's all right. She's fine. Let's see. Dave is saying he got the Gemo Coyote. Very, very good gun. Exceptionally good gun. It's actually the BSA Buccaneer with a different stock and trigger. He got it for $400. It's a solid gun. All right. Let's see. Next one. This goes back into maybe a little bit of a little hot comment here, a little spicy. Gentleman saying we got one of those, speaking of the Bara, and the safety was a disaster. It uses the same safety lever designed from the Umarex Gauntlet. Yeah, it's the same as that, same as the QB. It's same as the Beeman. That safety system has been around for a very, very long time. I wouldn't call it a disaster. I'd call it a pain in the ass, but not a disaster. It works. It's just, I don't like it. I don't like it either, but I don't think disaster is the right word. And I certainly wouldn't let it be something that stopped me from buying the gun. Anyway. Last comment, couple we go here. Oh, this is a good one. And this goes to, it's good timing. A gentleman posted this. He posted about a day ago. This was on a very old video. One I did of the SIG Virtus 22. He said, word of advice, put the camera behind you so we can see how far you're shooting because we don't want to see you shooting. I ain't nothing to look at, so I don't blame you there. I have tried putting the camera behind me, and all you see is a whole bunch of nothing, especially if I'm shooting at 50 and 100 yards. If you're going to see me or see any part of where I'm shooting and the target, it's just too far away. It's a waste of time. So I'll probably keep doing things the way I'm doing. And maybe, I don't know. I mean, do you guys does it matter to you to see just how far it is in reality? I have 100 and some odd yard range and I shoot from under a cover. And yeah, I mean, how important is that really in the scope of things? You either trust me or don't, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, I can, I guess, but I just don't, it's wasted space on a chip, frankly, because you can't see anything anyway. Let's see. Let me go back here and see if we have any questions that I need to catch up with. Let's see. I think that's about it. That's all my questions I have today. That's all I got. Let me go ahead and exit out of that. Oh, that program's locked up. I don't care. We'll leave that over there. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Let me just scroll down. What's the name? Gorm is saying, what's the name of Airgun Angie's channel? It's the Gateway to Airguns channel. Let me just pull it up. There we go. Here it is. If you guys want to catch what Angie's been up to, what she's got going on, there you go. There's the channel. It's Gateway to Airguns. Back to wrapping things up here for the last couple minutes. Definitely want to say, no problem, Bean Flip. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I love shooting that gun. I'm trying to think of what's the next thing I'm going to do with it. I'm thinking, I don't remember if I ever tried slugs in the doggone thing. So I've got a whole bunch of really cool 22 cal slugs. So I may shoot a little bit and see if I find a few that I can show you guys. And then we'll go from there. G-Man, you're back. Hey, that's cool. And Gorm, yeah, glad you got the link. But check it out. That's Angie's channel. A couple final things. Definitely want to say thank you on all those that have joined the Patreon page or the Officers Club. I still owe some folks to create the optics group on the Airgun Army. I know, I haven't done it yet. I want to, I haven't done it yet. Jay, yeah, I can give you some advice. I think that if you want to reach out to me via email, just go to my website, airgunweb.com. There's a form there, fill it out, and I'd be pleased to chat with you and give you some ideas and how to get started. And, you know, yeah, be pleased to share with you what I've learned over the years. Maybe you can not make some of the mistakes that I made and you'll do better than me. How's that? Be awesome. Yeah, so I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors. I'm going to be, for any of you guys that are interested in supporting what we're doing, you can do it easily by joining the Patreon page or Officers Club at Airgun Army. If there's more you want to do and you want to talk about some opportunities, maybe you have a business you want to promote, certainly can talk with you about that. And we can go from there. GTAs are a great way to do it, a gateway to Airguns. yeah, so reach out. We'll figure something out. But that's going to be it for now, guys. Real quick, here's an interesting comment. Marcus Mallory. I need somebody else to read these names out. I feel the Gauntlet is probably the best entry-level gun performance per dollar. My 25 cal is about 86 foot-pounds and dead on at 50 yards. Well, the Gauntlet, you must be talking about the G2, is a freaking awesome gun. And it does not get the play it should. I've actually got videos coming up on the 22, 25, and 30 that are in the works. So we're going to be getting back around to the Gauntlet. I've been kind of lean on Umrex stuff this year. There's some reasons for that, but hopefully we can do more next year. Anyway, so I'm excited to get that out of the mothballs a little bit. But I've got the 22, 25, and 30 we're going to be doing some work with. So very, very cool air guns. And I agree with you that they are underrated, overlooked, good guns. Yeah, it's a G1. Oh, so you've modded it. Yeah. So I think when we talk about things, it's really important to talk about, right up front when you say a gauntlet, you say modded, because 86 FPE isn't something everybody's going to get. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to be shooting the G2, which does extremely well. Should be fine. Should be good to go. And I usually run things as they come out of the box. But it definitely, that is a platform that does lend itself to people to tinker with. It's been happening for years. In fact, the Gauntlet itself was the, it was people have been making that conversion from a QB to the Gauntlet. They've been making that conversion for years. Umrex simply just put all the pieces together, slapped their name on it, and said, here you go. Now you don't have to go do it yourself. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it. Again, reach out if you guys want to chat. You can do so through my website, airgunweb.com. And we'll see you here next week. And maybe Angel will be back. So, all right, guys, we're going to call it. And you guys have a great rest of your week. See ya.